I'm very excited to show you my brand new set of Jamie Oliver knives, and I'm really proud of them. And this is a brilliant opportunity for me to share with you some different techniques in using the knives, how to take care of them, clean them and sharpen them. I've made these with my partner Tefal. There is some unique technology that we've used on this German steel, and that is ice hardening. So when they're kind of working with it at high temperatures, when they're forging the knives, they chill it down, and that kind of process gives you a fantastic edge, a sharpness on the knife that lasts even longer. So I'm gonna show you how to make a really beautiful rustic ratatouille. I'm gonna use this knife, the chef's knife. I want this ratatouille not to be fine and beautiful and sort of like perfect. I want it to be rough and rustic. We're gonna add the veg as we prep. You can see how effortless it is to cut through the veggies. The smell is amazing. Now I'm gonna let that simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes until soft and delicious. So, knife skills. Let me just kind of give you the 3 techniques that I use most of the time. So the first one would be tap chopping. Get your thumb at the back, get your little fingers tucked in. You want to use that flat edge of your finger here, and we're just gonna go like that, very gently. And then as you bring your hands back, slowly, that determines how thin the vegetable is. And the faster you bring it back, the thicker it is. So that is tap chopping. Next, rock chopping. Fingers underneath, that flat edge there, thumb still there, but we're just gonna rock chop. Don't do any big movements, just keep it nice and small. So tap chopping, rock chopping, and then cross chopping is very, very safe. You have your handle and hand here, you have your finger and end of the blade there. So cross chopping is particularly useful for things like herbs. So there you go. Cross chopping, we've got the rock chopping and the tap chopping. There you go, guys. A lovely little ratatouille. Next, let me show you my beautiful Jamie Oliver Santoko knife. This is a classic Japanese shape. It allows you to really turn everyday vegetables into very delicate things. And of course you can use it on fish as well. I'm gonna do a nice little kind of crudo dish, a raw trout dish. You could use salmon, you could use whitefish. It's so fast. But this knife really helps you to do it. So these little pits here let oxygen go in there, and then it just sort of flies off really nicely. So it's a clever knife. Using nice long movements, just slice down nice and thinly to the skin. I don't want to go through the skin. Then you can just angle the knife out, and look at that, a beautiful slither of fish. Look at that. So I'm just going to use the length of the knife again to make little strips of the skin. Just put it into a pan, you don't need any oil, and we're gonna make little fish skin cracklings. Can you see how easy this knife is to finely slice? It rocks beautifully, it pivots wonderfully, it's fantastically weighted. Put a couple of chilies in and around this plate. Beautiful capers, bits of dill here. It's gonna be a mouthful of joy. And then I'd finish that with just a little kiss of nice extra virgin olive oil, so you get that lovely marble effect. So there you go, that is my trout crudo. Next is my paring knife. It's a real go-to knife for so many preparations. So I'm gonna show you a wonderful recipe for simple baked stone fruit. Anything with a stone in it, we can use. Blade goes into the seed, rotate it round safely, twist it, and then we remove this little stone here. The great thing about the paring knife is you can use it for all those little fiddly little preparations. It's just a good all-round knife to have. I reckon about 2 heaped tablespoons of nice golden caster sugar is perfect. Use the tip that goes in to the vanilla pod and just run that tip all the way down the length. Use the tip again to scrape all the lovely seeds out. So the pod and the seeds goes in to this, and then an orange. Very delicately remove some of this skin, and then what we can do is half the orange and squeeze this in. What a wonderful, simple combination. So just mix it up. I'm gonna put it skin side roughly facing up. So we're gonna whack that in the oven now at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, and cook it for like 20-30 minutes until soft and tender and delicious and sticky. That is my beautiful baked stone fruit. So this is my bread knife. It's a beautiful knife. It's got this amazing serration here, and it allows you to cut beautifully and seamlessly through nice crusty loaves of bread, no matter what it is, whether it's a bloomer like this or a ciabatta or whatever. We use the length of the knife and just let the knife do all the work. And of course, what's great about having a good one is you can go super thin, or you can do nice thick ones. However you like your bread or your toasties, it doesn't really matter. Having a good bread knife though is a really handy thing to have. So with my beautiful Jamie Oliver knives, I thought I'd give you a little tutorial about how you can look after them. So one of the things really is cleaning. My knives often end up in the dishwasher and it makes me cry. Try not to do that if you can. These are tough knives. These are amazing knives and they're robust. So if it goes in the dishwasher, it's not the end of the world. Just try not to put them in there, please. With regards to the edge, couldn't be simpler. Get yourself a little steel, go from the heel of the knife at a slight angle to the tip. I do that 4 times and that's more than enough to keep your edge. And there's something beautiful about having a few bits of kit that you get to know and feel and you can predict, right? It's just good that you're used to it because you're gonna chop with it. And for a long, long time, cooking lots of wonderful meals, I'm sure. Have a look for more details about our full range of knives.